sitting here with Jacob Solomon of the UCF hockey team. He's a forward from Coral Springs. He's a senior studying engineering here at UCF. Jacob, we had a huge announcement about the hockey club late last week. You guys are partnering with the Solar Bears, and you're going to be playing the University of South Carolina at the Amway Center on November 7th. Talk about the opportunity to play in a big arena. It's the first collegiate hockey game in the history of the Amway Center. It's
always very exciting playing in big arenas like that. I mean, where we can have the potential to just pack the stadium, and playing in a game where there's big crowds. It really nothing compares to it. When we have our normal games at RDV and we promote it well, and there's hundreds of people there, I mean, there's nothing that compares to playing in front of a big crowd in a big arena.
You play at the RDV on your home games. What's a normal crowd for you guys?
We can get crowds up to over 300 people. Some games have more than others. We can pack the stands there pretty good. They have a good attendance section there. It's always a great time.
So talk a little bit about how this all came about, what you guys have in terms of a relationship with the Orlando Solar Bears, and how this was a good fit for everybody, and the announcement last week.
We've had a relationship with the Orlando Solar Bears ever since they started back up with the team a few years ago. We're relatively active volunteers with them. We volunteered with their All-Star weekend last year. They hosted the All-Star game. We do annual fundraising with them and called the Chuck a Puck fundraiser. It's really been good having a relationship with them being the primary hockey team in Orlando. And just having the relationship with them has been really great for our team.
And just for background for our listeners, so everybody knows, the Solar Bears were a team here in the mid-'90s, and they were a minor league hockey team and went away for a while, and they came back a few years back, particularly right after the Amway Center opened. Also, talk a little bit about college-level hockey. What would you compare your level of hockey if it was, say, perhaps football?
So we're Division III. We are in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. We play teams all over the country. Very competitive league. We go up. We'll be going to New York this upcoming weekend. Actually, we're traveling to Michigan next year. We play teams from all over. So yeah, we're Division III hockey team.
So, and you guys, the makeup of your team is mostly Floridians. You're from South Florida, Coral Springs, which is the home of the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
However, you guys have players from up north, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. You have somebody from Newport Beach, California. So talk about how those folks kind of collided and became hockey players at the University of Central Florida.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys are from Florida, played in the local rinks in Florida, and then a lot of the guys from the north, they want to go to a university that has top-tier academics and still play the sport they love that they've been playing for their entire lives, and University of Central Florida offers that really well. So players have come here for academics and still got to play hockey.
And so people understand club-level sports, and this is the highest level of hockey you can play at the University of Central Florida. Club-level sports is not like varsity sports. It's not funded by an association of any kind. So talk a little bit about how you guys are constantly pounding the pavement to raise money for travel, to just generate revenue, and where all that money comes from.
Correct. So, being that we are not directly funded by the university, it makes things a little difficult, but we go out and we find sponsorships. We have many sponsors. We do fundraising with the Solar Bears. We host a annual golf tournament. We receive some money from the university as far as the Sports Clubs Council. But I mean, obviously nothing like from the Athletics Association. So yeah, we do what we can. We've never had to turn a player away because of money, because obviously the money that we cannot complete our revenues with, we have to provide from the players. So we've always been able to find player sponsorships, and we go out of our way to make sure that we have enough funds to run our program.
And so talk about this game on November 7th against the Gamecocks. You guys are going to be playing at the Amway Center. Have you guys talked about this at all? I mean, it is, in the end, it's still an ice rink. It's the same size rink that you guys are probably used to playing. It's just going to be in a bigger atmosphere. And talk about mentally how you're going to approach that game, knowing that you're in a bigger arena. Chances are you're going to have more people in the seats than what you guys are used to.
I think the guys are very excited to play in that atmosphere. We have to maintain our focus, though. It's another league game for us, a very important game as far as our standings and our rankings go. So, although it will provide that extra edge there, where the guys are going to be excited, they're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a high intensity game, very aggressive. So it'll definitely be a very fast paced game, but at the same time need to maintain our focus and make sure we're running our systems the way we need to.
And so everybody understands the UCF hockey team plays in the Southern Collegiate Hockey Conference. They play alongside the University of Tampa, Florida Atlantic University, Florida Gulf Coast University, which is actually a Division II school, and the Cows from the University of South Florida, as Trace Trylko, who is the co-host of the podcast, likes to mention, the Cows. So I know you guys probably have a rivalry with the University of South Florida, but do you have any other in-state rivalries that you guys always look forward to?
Oh yeah, I mean, the games against the Florida Gulf Coast, those are really competitive games. This is my senior year, so I mean, we've been going back and forth with them for a while. The University of South Florida, though, those are always great weekends. I mean, we always fill our stands for those games. They're always very aggressive and very, very close, and just generally fun games to play as being a hockey player.
And you scored 42 points last year. You're one of the top goal scorers on the team. Who did you grow up idolizing as a young hockey player?
I'd have to say my idol, I guess, would be Red Wings Steve Yzerman. I actually wear number 19. He's a little bit of the inspiration from there. Just his general leadership skills as a captain and his ability to just score in any way. He's definitely someone I grew up watching all of his old stuff from even before when I was very young. Just all of his old videos and stuff, and just a great player.
Okay, so last question here for UCF Knight athletic fans that are possibly thinking about going to this game and maybe experiencing hockey for the first time in a collegiate atmosphere. What can they expect, particularly from your team and the atmosphere?
So, I mean, the atmosphere, it's a really, really exciting game to watch. It's very fast-paced. There's it's very aggressive. There's a lot of hitting and scoring, and it's definitely a very quick game. So pretty much a lot of people in Florida, unfortunately, aren't exposed to hockey as much as in the North. And I've heard from many people, once they see their first game or they just experience it for the first time, they really get drawn in and they begin to be more involved in it. And that's just, I feel like that has a lot of potential for this game to open the eyes of some people in Central Florida and see what hockey's all about.
If you had to describe UCF hockey in one or two words, what would it be?
One or two words, I'd say fast pace. I mean, we're quick, we make plays, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you can't hesitate. Once you get that shot, you just got to take it, and you can't miss it.
Well, we're really looking forward to watching you guys play the University of South Carolina at the Amway Center on November 7th. Immediately following the Solar Bears game against the Florida Everblades, who are also from Florida Gulf Coast neck of the woods. That's November 7th. For the Knightline podcast, I'm Scott Morrow, here with Jacob Solomon of the University of Central Florida hockey team.
Thank you.